Today we are going to discuss questions from the writing and language section of Practice Test 3 from the official SAT guide. Let us begin. Questions 1 to 11 are based on the passage seen on the screen. It's important to read the entire passage before proceeding. I will assume that you have already done so. So let's jump right into question number 1. Question number 1 is about the first sentence in the passage, which reads as follows. Studies have shown that employees are happier, healthier, and more productive when they work in an environment in which temperatures are carefully controlled. Question number 1 in particular is about the first underlined portion of this sentence, which is healthier, comma, and more. There are 4 options. The correct answer is option A, no change, because the underlined portion is already correct. Healthier is compatible with more productive, both of which are comparative adjectives. Choice B is incorrect because healthy is not a comparative adjective, and as such, it doesn't agree with what follows, which is more productive, a comparative adjective. Choices C and D are plainly awkward constructions and are therefore incorrect. Let's move on now to question number 2, which is about the second underlined portion of the first sentence. The second underlined portion of the first sentence reads, in which temperatures are carefully controlled. The question asks which choice provides the most appropriate introduction to the passage. The correct answer is clearly B. That affords them adequate amounts of natural light. And if you have read through the rest of the passage, it's quite clear that it's about natural lighting, not about temperature, energy loss, or special accommodations. The answer is quite obvious in this regard. Let's move to question number 3 now. The question asks the following. At this point, the writer is considering adding the following sentence. Workers in offices with windows sleep an average of 46 minutes more per night than workers in offices without windows. Should the writer make this addition here? There are 4 choices, and choice C, no, because it interrupts the discussion of circadian rhythms, is the correct choice. The section right before number 3 starts the discussion of circadian rhythms, and the section after it continues this discussion. The inclusion of the sentence in question 3 seems random at best. Choice A is incorrect because data described in question 3 is not examined in the rest of the paragraph. Choice B is incorrect because the sentence in question 3 is just a statistic, and as such, it does not explain the nature of any bodily functions. Choice D is incorrect because it discusses a variable that is not relevant to what the passage is discussing. On to question number 4 now. This question is about the underlined portion that reads bodies' biological clocks. The correct answer to this question is option C because only this option makes correct use of the possessive form of the noun body, which is meant to possess biological clocks. Choice A is incorrect because bodies spelled with IES at the end does not denote possession. It denotes a plural noun. Choice B is incorrect because it uses the possessive on the plural noun bodies. This, although not entirely incorrect, leads to awkward construction. Choice D is also incorrect because it uses the possessive form of clock at the end when in fact there is nothing in the sentence for clocks to possess. Let's move on now to question number 5. The correct answer to this question is option A, no change, because the underlined verb is agrees with the singular noun it refers to, absenteeism. Option B is obviously incorrect because the use of are is reserved only for plural nouns, but absenteeism is a singular noun. Option C and D have issues with tense. This sentence is best structured with the simple present tense as opposed to with the continuous or the perfect tenses, and therefore only option A, no change, is the correct answer. On to question 6 now. This question refers to the sentence that reads, employees who feel less than 100% and are sleep deprived are also less prone to work at their maximal productivity. The underlined portion then reads, gained a huge boost in its employees' morale. The correct answer to this question is option B, because the previous sentence is about employee productivity and only option B among the four options is about employee productivity. Options C and D are irrelevant to what was discussed in the previous sentence, whereas employee morale, which option A is about, is not the same as productivity. Let's move on to question number 7 now. This question is about the underlined portion that reads, artificial light sources are also costly. Aside from lowering worker productivity, they typically constitute anywhere from 25 to 50% of a building's energy use. The question then asks, in context, which choice best combines the underlined sentences? The correct answer to this question is option A, because it has the least awkward and the least verbose construction of all four options, while fully preserving all information in the correct order contained in the two underlined sentences. Choice B breaks the flow of the sentence by introducing the caveat about reduction in worker productivity in the middle of the sentence. Choice C does not fully do justice to the order in which facts are expressed in the underlined portion. It, for instance, mentions the statistic about energy use at the beginning when the claim about the cost of artificial lighting is mentioned only at the end. Choice D is plainly more verbose than the sentence needs to be. Choice A is therefore the correct answer. On to question number 8 now. This question is about the last sentence in the passage, which reads, when a plant in Seattle, Washington was redesigned for more natural light, the company was able to enjoy annual electricity cost reductions of $500,000 each year. The question is then about what exactly to do with the underlined portion, which reads each year. The correct answer to this question is choice D, which says delete the underlined portion and end the sentence with a period. This is so because the sentence already specifies that the rate of reduction in cost is annual. There is therefore no reason to include further information about the rate with word combinations such as each year, every year, or per year. Let's move on to question number 9 now. The question is about the first two sentences on the screen right now. The sentences read, among the possibilities to reconfigure a building's lighting is the installation of full-pane windows to allow the greatest degree of sunlight to reach office interiors. Thus, businesses can install light tubes. These are pipes placed in workplace roofs to capture and funnel sunlight down into a building's interior. The question then asks, what exactly is to be done about the underlined word thus? The right answer in this regard is option C, alternatively. In the context of the two sentences, only this choice makes sense because the first sentence is about solving the problem of natural lighting by installing full pane windows, while the second is about installing light tubes, which are an alternative solution to the same problem. Choice C is therefore the correct answer. Question number 10 is about the second sentence on the screen, which reads, thus, businesses can install light tubes. These are pipes placed in workplace roofs to capture and funnel sunlight down into a building's interior. The right answer to this question is option C, which reads, which are. Only option C correctly refers to light tubes mentioned right before the comma because the word which is an abstract placeholder for the words light tubes. Option A is incorrect because the word these is too concrete to be a placeholder for light tubes. Option B is also incorrect because the combination of they are after a comma is grammatically incorrect. Choice D is also incorrect because it leads to awkward sentence construction. Question number 11 is about the sentence that reads, Glass walls and dividers can also be used to replace solid walls as a means through distributing natural light more freely. The correct answer to this question is choice B, of, because of is the only word that can follow the word means to form the idiom means of.